I'll keep my mouth shut for this too.
And you, it's
You
time
already
to breathe again on the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. Patrick, as you can see, is with me. And Patrick, man,
I almost had it too, man.
almost. It took a little bit for it to get started, so I blame the
I
stream
was
this
still
time.
talking about the video, man. Okay.
well, well, as you can see, Patrick and I are back together for this live telecast or live webcast. So it's good to be back in this forum, and we hope y'all didn't miss us too much. Well, actually, no, we do hope y'all missed us a lot. But
Live without
but,
it.
but it's good to be back on here. So welcome to the show. And Patrick, let's get on some of these topics. Let's jump right into it, man. So there's been a lot going on since the last time we have been on a live webcast. And I mean, we got NBA playoffs, we have NHL playoffs going. Of course, Major League Baseball is going and is at the halfway point of the season. And the NFL is sneaking up on us too. I guess we will be starting the NFL in a couple of weeks. Yeah, like in a couple of weeks. So let's start with the NBA playoffs. And let's see, right now I am looking at Utah and Denver. Denver's up by 2 right now, 3 minutes left, trying to stave off elimination. But let's say the Philly 76ers, you saw my shorty on that. They got sent home. Good riddance to them. Brooklyn, they just didn't really have anybody. They got sent home. But the Toronto Raptors still look very impressive. And and then everything else is still pretty much status quo. Well, I guess except for the Clippers Mavericks series. They're tied at 2 with game 5 coming on here in a few minutes as well. So what has caught your eye about these playoffs so far, Patrick, if you've gotten a chance to kind of look at them a little bit?
I watched them a little bit, man. Most of the time I've been busy, but I mean, I'm going to keep it on the sports. But I do want to say this, man. What keeps deterring everybody from wanting to watch the sports and what keeps people from watching it is the dumb ass comments made by players about the racial issues.
Why you say dumb?
Okay, first of all, it's not all of them. It's just LeBron. And you know how I feel about that. I just wish they would stop and just play the game. When the game is over, then voice your opinion. It's not that I don't want them to voice their opinion. It's that they're voicing their opinions at the wrong time. Look, play the game first. Let's play the game, then speak your piece. I can get with that a little bit more than listening to all these people making all these comments, and then they want to go out and play. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I mean, it's the one time that I get to watch sports and not have to worry about all the racial issues right now. There's so many out there, and it's not that I don't want to hear about it. It's I don't want to hear about it at that time. I want to watch the game. Shut up, play the game. That's what I mean. Now, with that being said, I think the most interesting is the Maverick series. Dallas, I mean, that team, they're playing well. And I mean, they were playing well right into the end of the season, but they're playing really good. I didn't think that it was going to be a close series, but I mean, what's that kid's name?
Doncic, Luka Doncic.
Doncic, yeah. He's a beast, man. I didn't think he was going to be that good, but kid's a beast out there, man. But that's the biggest thing is watching them. The Mavericks are playing well together.
Yeah. I'll keep it to sports too. I did just kind of want to say this as well about the racial issue. I just think right now, man, it's a tough time. It is. There's a lot of stuff well, just a lot going on, and it's really heavy. It's weighing on a lot of people's minds. So for me personally, I don't have an issue with them speaking on it. I understand where you're coming from because this is sports. Sports is supposed to be a release from that. It
Temporary.
is. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. A release from it, not a no all tell all solution to it, but a release for a couple hours, a few hours, for however long the sport is going or the game is going. But well, what does kind of get on my nerves about it, and then I'll get back to the sports, is to me a lot of it, not all, but a lot of it to me, it's not organic. I feel like there's a lot of just public drive right now going with this. The NBA, I will say, whether it's LeBron James, whether it's Jaylen Brown, whether it's Fred VanVleet, the NBA has been out in front of these issues. So that's why I can say for them, it's a little bit more organic because they have been the only league who has been out in front of it. Everybody else, I think they're just trying to jump on the train. That's just, it's just my personal opinion. The NFL, especially, that like they make me sick. But Major League Baseball, the NHL, I think a lot of them are just kind of jumping on the train as that drive, as this racial drive, whether it's Black Lives Matter and whichever other one, is just. I think the rest of the leagues, they've just been kind of jumping on the train. And I think when you combine that with the NBA players saying what they say, I can understand where somebody's just like, man, I don't want to hear about it right now. I just want to just watch the game. I know it's out there. I know what's going on, but man, it's been driven into our heads. But I think the NBA players are trying to kind of keep the conversation going, and they're going to speak on it from the NBA players. I'm cool with it just simply because they've been out in front. Now,
well, he said his mouth about it because he just sounds like a complete moron about all of it. I mean, dude, did you see the latest one that he did with Donald Trump, "Make America Great" the hat on? It's like it's Donald Trump's fault that the woman got shot. Did you hear about this one about the man and the woman that got shot in their house or in their apartment?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, so this is the point. They got shot in their house because some police officers came in, right? But the thing, the whole media, you know how the media is. They're not telling the whole story. They're just like, well, a couple of black people got shot by white cops again. You know what I mean? Not mentioning that there is a warrant for the man's arrest, and the woman jumps up out of bed and tries to fight the cops so they won't take her man to jail. Yeah, you got shot. Come on. I mean, you're attacking cops. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that every one of them is like that. I mean, I'm just saying, come on. You had drugs on your table. There's a reason why the cops were there. They were there to arrest the man that's a drug dealer. Anyway, LeBron is making it sound like it's Donald Trump's fault because Donald Trump was there. Anyway, LeBron just sounds like an idiot. I get tired of listening to him. He's the reason why I'm so irritated with the whole situation.
Well, I think LeBron is sometimes. I mean, I'll say this. I think most of the time with LeBron, I would say that he seems pretty well thought out with his comments. Most of the time, there are other times where I just think, well, yeah, you probably shouldn't have said that, LeBron. I don't know. I haven't heard these latest comments necessarily, not in great detail. I mean, I've seen clips about it, but I mean, his comments, and there were other comments in there too. And they said it gets heavy sometimes, and sometimes you just kind of need that release to kind of get away from it.
But I do get where you're coming from. I do get where you're coming from, and the reason why you're a little bit more okay with the NBA doing it than the MLB. Honestly, I mute the MLB because I don't even want to hear any of that crap. And sometimes I mute the NBA because I don't want to hear about it either.
Right. No, I understand, man. But back to the games.
We're supposed to be on a release of this. My fault.
Yes. but absolutely though, man. I see your point. But with the games, yeah, I mean, I feel like honestly, Patrick, I'm not really surprised by too much of anything. The Clippers and Mavericks series, I felt like this was going to be a dangerous one for the Clippers, just simply because the Mavericks can score. They're very, very potent on the offensive end. And when you have a team that can score, especially in this NBA, the way everything is just so wide open, then there's going to be shootouts. I still think the Clippers will somehow find a way to pull out the series. But this is one of these years. It's just a crazy year. With all this stuff going on, there's no telling who's going to win the title. Now, people might say the Lakers look like the favorite. Milwaukee, after losing to Orlando in that first game, looking like they're back together. And those look like the favorites. But, I mean, you have Miami sweep Indiana. I remember we did a webcast and we were talking about how dangerous the Pacers look. Well, they're not dangerous anymore because they're gone. So we don't know.
Didn't they?
They got swept. Yeah, the Miami Heat swept them. And so now the Toronto looks really, really good. Really good. Yes, it was against a Brooklyn team that's they're beaten up, but hey, you take care of the business you take care of, and that's what Toronto did. Toronto didn't mess around. They got Brooklyn out of there. So, I mean, this year, Patrick, a team like a Miami, I feel like can get hot. And it's a little bit harder in this forum just simply because it's series and not a one and done scenario. But a team like Miami could potentially get hot and maybe take it all the way. Do I think they will? No, because I feel like they're going to run into Milwaukee, which they're going to run into them in the next round. So then Milwaukee goes ahead, gets Orlando out of there. Like they're up 3-1, so I think they will. But Milwaukee, I say all that, but I still think Milwaukee comes out of the East. In the West, I think it's more wide open.
I think it's more wide open in the West as well. But I'm about 95% sure it's going to be Milwaukee out of the East. I mean, look, let's be honest, man. The Lakers playing Laker ball with that crazy team that they have.
They're playing well. You give the Lakers credit. They're playing well.
They're playing very well. I mean, losing game one, I think really ticked a lot of people off on that LA Lakers team. And then they came back and made it 3-1. But no, I mean, I don't. You say it's a little bit more wide open in the West, but I mean, Lakers are. They're looking tough, man. And again, they're playing Portland right now. There's nothing really Portland can do about it. You might have Utah that could probably give the Lakers a little bit more of a run. Clippers could probably give them a little bit more of a run, but I mean, you say it's wide open. I say it's a little bit more wide open, but I mean, it's the Lakers to lose right now.
And you know what? And that might be the case. I mean, I think. Look, to me, this is how I feel about Portland. Portland is a team. It's going to sound bad. I never worry about Portland. I just don't. Like Portland to me, they're the team. You know what they are. They have Damian Lillard. They have CJ McCollum. They have a potent backcourt. They're not getting much help from anywhere else. Yusuf Nurkic, he's pretty good in the middle, but he may or may not show up depending on the game. And if it's a big game, then I don't know. He tends to disappear. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so now you're putting all that
for a big man like that to disappear.
Yeah, and now you have him, and then it gets put on Lillard and McCollum to have to do so much. when you're playing teams like the Lakers or like the Clippers, or maybe even, maybe even a Denver or a Utah. You need more than just a backcourt potency. You gotta come with the all-around effort. And if it's not there, you're not gonna beat them. So that, like, Portland, to me, yeah, they have a dynamic backcourt. You know, Dame Lillard can drop 50, 60 on you on any given time. But when you're playing more complete teams, yeah, I mean, when you're playing more complete teams, it really doesn't make too much difference. No. So as we're watching, Patrick, Denver stays alive. So they Utah 117 to 107. So that series is 3-2.
Not that I am promoting it, but I do have to check my FanDuel.
Oh God. well, Patrick, hey, we're gonna move on. Maybe if we have a little bit of time and get back on it. Looking good on FanDuel. So we'll move on to the NH.
I put $3. I put $3 in today. Mostly because I'm playing with like $25, but I put $3 in, and right now I'm sitting at 63 on the.
Oh, nice. See, this is like a 3-for-1 trade-off. So
like a
21 to 1. 21 to 1.
Like 90 to 1 trade-off.
Yeah, like 20. When you put in 3 and you're sitting at 63, that's like a 21 to 1 trade-off.
Yeah.
So,
right. We still got the next game, and that, we'll think.
So let's get on the NHL playoffs real quick, Patrick. And I mean, they're deep into the second round. Well, not deep into the second round, but they're into the second round. And then we're looking at these matchups here. So you have Tampa Bay and Boston. You have the Islanders, who destroyed the Washington Capitals, destroyed them, got them out of there in 5 games.
The
Island.
It wasn't even close. That was not even a close series. Even when the Islanders did win that one game, it wasn't even that close. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they have the Islanders playing the Flyers right now, and they beat the Flyers 4-0, if I remember right, in the first game of that series. Then in the West, you have the Stars and Avalanche. The Stars are up 2-0 in that series, and the Vegas Golden Knights are playing the Canucks, I think, who got rid of the defending champion St. Louis Blues. So, what's surprising you about this? Now, look, I haven't followed. Yeah. You know what? Look.
Right off the bat, I think Vancouver they're freaking everywhere on that ice, dude.
They're fast. They have a lot of speed.
Fast. Now, they're going against the Golden Knights, which is a fast team too. I don't think the Golden Knights are as fast as Vancouver. But let me tell you, man, Vancouver is fast. And they are not. Their agility and their stamina, man, is crazy. I mean, what are they playing with? 3 lines? They're playing with 3 lines?
Yeah. They've been flying around, man. I've seen them, and they move circles around St. Louis. St. Louis, for the first time in a while since I remember seeing them, and with me being in the DFW area, we see a lot of the Blues with them being in our division. St. Louis, for the first time in a while, looks slow. It looks slow. I mean, Vancouver was moving circles around them, and you knew St. Louis would come up.
Well, you knew not as fast.
Well, you knew St. Louis. You knew St. Louis would respond in terms of being down 2-0. I mean, they're defending champs, so I didn't see them going out without a fight. But it's almost like once Game 5 started happening, there's a point in every series where you can see the better team winning. And I don't care if it's the losing, or I don't care if it's the lower seeded team or the higher seeded team. Oh, by the way, thanks a lot, Cruise Missile. I see the shout out that he has sent. I'm out here supporting the webcast. That's what's up. Well, so I think when you look at a lot of these series or these games, or these sports that have that series format in terms of elimination, there's a point where you're saying to yourself, this team might be a little bit better than the other ones. Vancouver, some point in that Game 5, you saw they were better. They were just moving around faster. The goaltender was playing better.
after that second goal in period 2, you saw a different confidence about that Vancouver team. They knew at that point, we can do this. And like game 4 and game 5, you saw Vancouver pretty much start dominating the ice on both sides. Blue line, puck control. Even with that, shit. Give me just a minute. I'll think what it is. Power play. Even with that power play, they got that one goal in the fourth game, third period or second period, whatever it was. You started seeing a faster Vancouver team, and then that power play that St. Louis didn't get in the fourth game. At that point, man, I my personal opinion, I thought it was the turning point was period 2 of the fourth game. A lot of people said game 5 was the turning point. I mean, at that point, like game 5 was the last game. I thought it was game 4. I just thought Vancouver was a faster team and they were not letting up.
Yeah, and I think this will be a good series between them and the Golden Knights. I think that the two very fast teams that are kind of going at it with each other. Dallas looks strong. Looks like they are coming together at the right time.
And it's about time, honestly.
Yeah, and you know what? They've had that talent there for a while now. I can tell you, Dallas, even before COVID hit, they were going through coaching changes. The Jim Montgomery looked like he was pretty well entrenched in there, and then all of a sudden he got released. And so it's just like, what's going on? All of a sudden, what happened? So now they had to kind of work their way back into things, but they look like they're starting to peak at the right time. And in the East, the Islanders they're looking strong in the East now. Depending on what happens with this Tampa Bay Boston series, which I see that one going 6 and 7 games. It seems like every time those two teams play each other, it's a long series. So I expect that one to go 6 or 7 games. But there's some interesting action going on in hockey too. I just wanted to kind of get that in there because you know us, comment about everything. We watch as much as we can, and so and
we'll give you our opinion on some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Patrick, let's move on to Major League Baseball. So we got the halfway standings here. I'm about to pull these up here right now. All right, so Tampa Bay is in first place in the East. Minnesota first place in the Central, and Oakland is first place in the West. And in the National League, we have
that one. My picks weren't looking good at all in that one.
You know what? Mines are okay right now. Okay, they're okay. The Dodgers first place in the West. The Cubs are first place in the Central, and the Braves are in first place in the East. So,
and mine ain't looking good in that one either.
Huh?
I said, and mine ain't looking good in that one either.
Oh man, you know, mines are looking okay, man. Because I said, you know what? The funny thing is, again, same thing, Patrick. I'll go ahead and I'll start this one off here. It's a 60-something game season. So with it being a 60-game season, dude, you get hot, you can write this out. That you were taking away 100 games from the season. And so when I made these picks, I remember I did the shorty with both of our picks. Dude, personally, I had no damn idea what was going to happen. I was just kind of going on a whim. But I guess I tried to act like I know what I was talking about. What I tried to go with is, since it's a short season, I tried to look at it from a standpoint of which teams seem to get off to a fast start and then tail off at the end. If you get off to a fast start here, there's really no time to tail off. So, so
I was going with the same thought process. Think about this. You picked Tampa to win the East. I picked New York. New York is going to finish strong. I still think New York will still win that. Will win that division. I picked Cleveland to win the Central, the Twins. So I guess I am not doing as bad as as I'm sitting here. I still think Cleveland is a better. I think Cleveland is a better in-season team. So I still feel good with that one. Angels, dude, I picked the Angels, and they're 9-22 right now.
I
But
picked
they're a strong team when they first get started. They are strong. What I didn't take in consideration is this right here when I made my picks. This is the one thing I did not take in consideration. Everybody is thinking this is a 60-game season. We've got to win. And I did not take that in consideration. Because if I would have taken that in consideration, I would have went with what most team or what the team that should have. I would have went with Oakland. And right now they're in first. But I was like, well, Oakland's going to be. They're not even in the conversation because I don't think they're that good of a team. But they're a good.
I think Oakland's good, man. I think Oakland's good, man. The reason why I think Oakland is good is because Oakland, they're sneaky. They don't have stars or anything like that, but they just play good as a unit. Now, the one thing that does surprise me about Oakland, normally they actually start to peak around July, or if it's a normal season. It's around July or August, and then you just hear about Oakland rattling off 10 games in a row. And so,
or like what they do, dude, it's July. Oakland is still going, it's July. This is whatever. I was like, what? I didn't even expect any of that because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree with you. Oakland is a great team, sneaky great. I didn't think they were going to be that stinky because I thought people were going to go, no, we got to take every game serious. No. Oakland's like
a system in place, though, Patrick. Now, I think
they do a lot better than I thought they were going to have, especially with this whole system that they have for 60 games.
Yeah, and that's the thing because I think because we always talk about analytics and where we think analytics can work and where we think it's a little bit out of place. With a season like this is where analytics can kind of come into play because now you're really into the numbers and you're looking at the numbers and you're saying, where can I use this pitcher? Where can I use that pitcher? Because you really have to be careful with this now because you can say to yourself, well, maybe I need to shorten my rotation. Maybe I need to save the arms a little bit. Now, me personally, I'm trying to have I would have looked at having maybe a 4-man rotation besides the normal 5. Just simply because
you're starting to think like I think, man. I'm always down for a 4-man rotation.
Yeah. Well, because it's a shortened season, so you want to make sure maybe you can use that 5th arm and put them into the bullpen or something like that. And now, me, normally
I'm go back to that middle relief.
Yeah, and me, normally I'm about that 5-man rotation during this a long season because you have to be able to salvage those arms. And I think a lot of teams, they blow out their bullpen arms. And I think that's ridiculous. Like, why do you have starters? Yeah. Why do you have starters? Yeah. Why do you have starters if you're going to just blow out your bullpen arms? But in this season where you have 60 games, shorten the rotation up, have 4 guys starting because you want to get your front line starters. I feel like you want to get them in a little bit more. They should be fine. They're pitching every 4th or 5th day. And then normally they'll have an off day somewhere in there. So they should be all right if you just shorten that rotation up a little bit and you don't have as many games to blow out the arms. So I would have looked at that. Also, with the hitting, it seems to me, or at least the games I have seen, I haven't seen too many games, for baseball, but it seems like there's a little bit more patient hitting going, a little bit more manufacturing of runs instead of looking for. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still have your home run derbies that take place in these cork ballparks, but but
Philly, Atlanta.
there was
You
one.
look at a few Philly in Atlanta building
Look,
those.
even San Diego's Petco Park, which traditionally is a pitcher-friendly park, is turning into a no. It's a cork ballpark this year.
I swear, I was watching one game where I think it's San Diego has like 4-5 straight Grand Slam games right now.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, did they shorten the wall to 150 feet? Yeah, like, crazy, man. They literally have I want to say it's 5-game, a 5-game Grand Slam streak right now by 5 different players. I'm like, what do you is Petco Park now Little League?
It's turned to the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. I
thought that was crazy when I saw that.
So, I mean, you still have your home run derbies going on, but it does look like from the games I've seen, there's a little bit more, hey, let's get dudes on base. Let's move them. Let's singles and doubles and triples. They're okay. Take a walk. Let's not free swing. There seems to be a little bit more. Just trying to be smart about it. Manufacturing some runs. There's still effectiveness in the single and the double, and being patient out there instead of trying to swing for the fences. And it looks like, from what I've seen, a lot of the teams have done that. Oh, by the way, Patrick. Before we move on, this was going to be a shorty of mine, and it still might. But if so, use this as a tease. The cardboard cutouts that are being put in front.
They're being worked with the stuffed teddy bears.
Like, what are we doing, man? I mean,
I was okay with that. It's when they did the when they put the sound effects of the audience in the stands. I was like, no. I'm
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Look, everybody knows there are no fans in the stands. Stop trying to make it look like they do. Cardboard cutouts, Patrick. No, dude.
How about the Cincinnati Red catcher that was sitting in the stands, who ran out behind home plate in the stands and was it was distracting the pitcher, and he got kicked out. I was like, dude, seriously, you're gonna run behind the, and he was like, I was like, seriously, dude, yelling at the umpire. I mean, dude, you're gonna get kicked out. I mean, come on. From what I'm seeing, man, the players are enjoying this more than anybody, man, because they're sitting out in the stands. They got their feet kicked back, and they're enjoying the game. And then they go out and play baseball. And then they come back in, and I mean, like, this is, I play baseball out at Roy Hobbs, and that's what we do. We sit out in the sands while we're just playing, So it's kind of nice to sit out there and watch them. I do want to mention one thing, because we talked about the American League. I do want to mention the National League real quick. I want to give a shout out to the Miami Marlins, dude. They missed 16 games. Dang. And they are now almost caught up, and they are still in second place. Hey, kudos for y'all's play, man, because I was already counting y'all out when y'all hit that COVID thing with 19 players, and y'all played a bunch of doubleheaders. Y'all played a couple of weeks without even a break just to get your games in, and y'all are still in second place, playing good baseball. I'm not a huge fan of the Miami Marlins. As a matter of fact, I don't like them at all. I'm a Braves fan, for everybody, and I got to give credit where credit's due, man. Miami Marlins, keep it up. Y'all playing good ball.
They are. I think San Diego is playing some pretty good ball. The Dodgers are the class of that division, though. I don't see them catching the Dodgers, but they might be in the running for a wild card. And then the Central's just up for grabs. We'll see if Milwaukee gets hot somewhere down the line. The Cubs right now are in top of that division. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
ripping on the tail.
Yeah. And then the Cardinals. That's another team. They've missed a few games too, but they're right there. But the Cardinals, they grind. We know that about the Cardinals. Yep. So Patrick, let's move on to this final topic before we get out of here, man. So this is about the Baltimore Ravens. They released the safety Earl Thomas after basically, look, the leadership council on that team basically said he has to go. So with the leadership council on that team saying he has to go, this must have been a huge problem. Earl Thomas, as we know, he's an all-pro safety for all those years in Seattle. He came to Baltimore last year. It looked like it was a good addition from all indications. And then the playoffs happened against the Tennessee Titans. And the only thing that I remember about Earl Thomas was him pretty much running away from Derrick Henry because he didn't want to get trucked. He was just getting pushed all over the place. And so,
that first hit he took in the first quarter.
Yeah. He wanted no parts of Derrick Henry. Look, those are what you call those business decisions, I guess. But I don't know if I would want any parts of Derrick Henry either. But
maybe if I have a gun, I'll shoot him.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. My fault. My fault.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said anything. At least I'm not a cop.
Yeah, so
getting me either, dude. That dude is like a freight train. But dude, I do remember him side shuffling him the rest of the game like this.
Wanted nothing to do with him. So, but yeah, I guess there have been problems going on during the training camp, and they said he has to go. So now he's out there in the free agent market. Of course, the rumors about him maybe joining the Dallas Cowboys are out there. But is it to the point now with Earl Thomas where teams might just stay away from him and look at him as, I hate to put it this way, damaged goods?
I mean, well, anybody in their right mind. But I can tell you right now, there's two teams that's not in their right mind. New England Patriots, they'll pick him up. They always pick up the bad guy. I mean, look, they always will. 1 and 2, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think Tampa Bay, actually, so if he did come down to Tampa Bay can use some defensive help. I still think their defense is a little bit weak.
Extremely weak. I mean, look how much money they're paying on the offense.
Yeah, they're putting in a lot on the offense to try to put weapons around Tom Brady. And they look potent. They do look like a team that can put up some points. We'll see how that goes. I still think
they're also a team that will allow a lot of points. So it's going to be an offensive show.
A lot of shootouts. Definitely. It's going to be a lot of 38, 35 games, I think, with Tampa Bay.
At least 38, 35, 70, 75, 104, 101.
But with Earl Thomas, man, look, Seattle and Baltimore, these are two of the teams that traditionally, or at least recently, have pretty good foundations on their team. Mm-hmm. So for Earl Thomas to be on these teams, of course, he was with Seattle for a lot of years, but they said, we got to let you go. And for Baltimore to say, nah, man, you got to go. I think that says something. But now Baltimore, again, they have a pretty stable franchise there. John Harbaugh, the coach, has been there for a good while. I think since 2008, he's been there. So he's one of the longest tenured coaches we have. Yeah, man. He became a coach in 2008, I believe.
I don't think I would come before 2004.
Yeah. He's been there for a while, and then I think the only coaches who have been at their spots longer is Bill Belichick, of course, for the Patriots, and Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers has been there for a little bit too. It might have been around the same time John Harbaugh became coach, maybe a year before. Those three guys with those three teams have stable franchises, and Pete Carroll has been Seattle's coach, obviously, for a while too. But Earl Thomas, he's just looking like a malcontent now. He fighting dudes in practices. And we're supposed to be socially distancing. How are we getting into fights?
Earl Thomas. He put a mask on to come after you. Don't worry, I won't breathe on you. I'll just beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, right. We gonna fight. We gonna get this fight in though.
Hey, bro. We're always talking about somebody fighting. What was the last time? Meta World Peace in basketball. What was the dude that always liked to fight in baseball? Oh my God, what was his name?
Was it that one dude, Niger Morgan?
Bryce Harper.
Was it Niger Morgan or somebody like the one dude?
There was another one that they brought the dude on to the Washington Nationals. He was a very experienced player. And then him and Bryce Harper got into it, and
Papelbon.
Probably.
Yeah, Jonathan Papelbon.
Yeah, fighting, dude. But there's always a fighter somewhere.
Yes,
so, now it's Earl Thomas, man. Make his way back around the NBA. It always
supposed to be socially distancing, though, Patrick. Come on. Well, man, that's
my boy Jose. What's up?
Oh, okay. Who's that? What's going on, Jose? You know what? Hey,
face.
So Patrick has told me a lot about you, nothing but good things, man. And
that's my boy, man.
I appreciate you getting on here, watching us, man. Much love to you up there. He's in Boston, right?
Yeah, man. He's in Boston. He needs to make his way down to Florida. Come and kick it with me for a bit.
Hey, he can slide on through to Texas too, man. Like both of y'all can slide on down through there.
Hey, thanks, Jose, man.
Sure, that's what's up. Well, hey, on that note, man, we're gonna get on out of here for this one. Everybody, make sure that you check out the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button, and also keep the lights coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page as well. So, like I said at the beginning, we're happy to be back on here and doing this live webcast. Get back on a good schedule. And Patrick, is there anything to add?
No, that's it, man. I'm good. Shorty. All right. This week, I promise.
Yes, Patrick. Yes, get that shorty in there. But other than that, like I said, it's good to be back, man. We're glad we could do this show, and we encourage all y'all to come out, get involved, interact with us on the topics. When we were able to see the comments and see people interact, it's good to go ahead, give you those shout outs and respond to those comments too. So we have no issues at all responding to any of the comments and interacting with y'all. So we encourage it, get in there with us, and let's have some fun with it. So outside of that, anything, am I missing anything before we sign off?
That's it, man. Oh, Jose, good luck to your they're playing a tough Lightning team, so good luck.
All right. Well, with that, we're getting off of here. Everybody take care. Have a good week or good rest of the week. And